We are going to kick it off today with Donna Tetreault. She is a parenting journalist and the host of Kids Under Construction, which is a fantastic podcast. If you can look it up, it covers a wide range of topics for parents, as well as educators. She's also an author of Dear Me, Letters to Myself for All of My Emotions, and a former teacher with Los Angeles Unified School District and a parent. So she has walked through the mental health challenges from a variety of perspectives. So I'm going to hand it off to Donna to kick us off.
Thank you so much, Marnie, and thank you all. I'm so honored to be here, really, really excited to be here. So I'm going to start off with a question. We're going to go dive deep into this real quick. I want to ask you, how are you feeling in this moment? You can just record it in your mind, or if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, how are you feeling right now in this moment? Are you feeling rushed that you had to get onto the Zoom? Are you worried about something? Are you happy? I can tell you how I'm feeling right now. I'm so excited. I just got to finish watching my son, sixth grade son, do his final presentation for the year. And I'm a little anxious because I'm speaking, right? Who wouldn't be? So I have a couple emotions going on. So what is that emotion that you're feeling right now? Just lock that in. And identifying and recognizing our emotions, it's really a step in building our emotional intelligence, right? We know this. And so why is this so important? Well, the big picture is this. As parents and educators, we really focus on physical education, right? We've been doing this in the early years with our kids, nutrition, fitness. We build it into the home, into the curriculum at schools. But right now, more than ever, and even before the pandemic, we really need to focus on mental health ed for our little kids. We can teach them these strategies. We know that we can. It's research-based, evidence-based. We know we can do this. We can teach this in the schools and in the home as parents. And so when you think about the millions of teens and tweens who are diagnosed with mental health issues or disorders, we're reacting. We can be, though, proactive early on with teaching this skill set and doing this deep dive into learning about emotions in this emotional intelligence realm. So right now, lots of kids are going back to in-person school, right? They're having all kinds of emotions. They're anxious, they're lonely, they're fearful. I actually spoke to a little girl, third grader, who told me she's going to start school 2.5 hours a day, but she said, I'm so scared. And I said, why? She said, because I don't want to leave my mom. I don't want to leave my mom. I've been with her for a year. I don't want to leave her. I said, how else are you feeling? She said, I'm worried. I said, what are you worried about? She said, I'm worried about my grades. That's third grade. So thinking about that and all of these emotions that our kids are feeling, we really have to be cognizant and understand that we have to teach our kids how to manage their emotions. And we have to learn as parents and educators how to model that for our kids. And so I wanted to start off by showing you a slide from my picture book that I wrote during the pandemic to help parents and kids because of all that we're going through. And the first slide shows a soccer scene in Dear Me. And in this slide, the young boy is playing soccer, and then all of a sudden he's told, he has to take some pictures for picture day. And what kid wants to stop playing soccer or playing at all to take pictures? So in this, he identifies, I am mad, which is great. He's identifying that emotion. Then we move on to the next slide in the book where we're using the strategy of journaling. It's concrete, real life, evidence-backed that we can journal through our emotions. We can manage our emotions. And so in that, he writes, Dear Me. It wasn't so bad. Having to take the picture. I got to dribble the ball while I waited in line. And now I'm going to have this picture for the rest of my life to remember my team. And so this is really important because what you're seeing is you're seeing the identification of that emotion, understanding it, then moving toward a strategy to get to a more positive emotion, but all the while feeling and managing those emotions. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about journaling as a part of this strategy. We know that mindful breathing works and journaling works. And so kids, though, who are too young to write out "Dear Me" and that letter to themselves and "Love me," they can draw. We know through art therapy, we know that kids can draw about their emotions and feel better. And I have a story to share about when my son, who's 13 now, Jackson, he was in preschool and he was afraid to go to preschool. And what kid doesn't have those days where they just don't want to go to preschool? And he said to me, "I'm afraid to go and make friends." And so what we did is we said, let's draw it out. So he drew how he was feeling. And we said, let's also draw how you might feel if you feel good at school. And so he drew a picture of himself getting out of my car and surrounded by friends and waving, and he's happy. And so he would take this in the car with him as we went to school, and he would look at it and remind himself that he's going to be okay and he's going to make some friends, and then he'll see me after school. And so what we want to do is we really want to teach our kids to allow themselves to journal through drawing or writing or deep breathing, that our kids can manage their emotions. So we recognize our emotions in oneself and in others. We understand the causes and the consequences of emotions. We label our emotions accurately. We really know, are we mad? Are we sad? What are we feeling? We express those emotions in an appropriate time and place, and we feel those emotions, we manage them, and then hopefully we move toward a more positive emotion. And so what does this develop? This develops self-love, self-compassion, self-regulation, self-advocacy. I can do this. I have the power to manage my emotions. I have the power, and that's what we want to give to our kids. And in this, these are all strategies toward better mental health. It's these seeds that we're planting, these strategies that we're giving to our kids, that they can then have positive mental health later on in life and throughout life. And so we learn as parents and teachers that we can model this behavior, and we can learn how to manage our emotions as well, so that our kids can see that we can have this harmonious time at home and in school. It's up to us. So if we go back to the top of this question that I asked you, how are you feeling right now in this moment? Identifying that emotion for yourself is a gift to yourself, is a gift to our kids, and being able to work through that. So I hope that if you had a negative emotion earlier on, that maybe later as you go through the day, you can help yourself manage your emotion and move through the day in a more peaceful and healthy way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Donna. And one of the things that you touched on that I really love is advocacy. And I think that's really difficult when you're dealing with emotions, and so critical for children to be able to, especially children who are nonverbal, right?
Absolutely.
How is it using pictures? Is it using emoji faces so that they can identify where they are? And then advocate, ask for help. I need help right now.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's critical. Thank you. And we'll be uploading a resource page where you can access Donna's book and podcast as well at the end of this session.